to elevate.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
Hey, I'm the second brother. And we have with us...
Hey guys, I'm Rika. Glad to be back again and welcome back to the channel.
Hey, to this channel. Okay, this is gonna be part 2, Growing Pains, Nigeria. And in part 1, we looked at certain things, and I'm glad that we were able to look at certain things because that becomes things we can reference in this episode. And first thing is, again, just to reiterate, we as Nigerians, we need to get to a point where we cook for ourselves. Now, because you've watched that one, you will understand what that means, to start cooking for ourselves. The next thing is intellectual capital. Again, everything that you see on the streets right now, everything that you see that is broken in the system is broken for a reason. Every society have within them the menders, the creators, the repairers. Every society have that within them. The Igbos for Nigeria, they are our industrious ones. But the reality is that there is a very real and serious agenda to keep us broken. I'm gonna put in this episode, I'm gonna probably even in the first one, I'm gonna put a YouTube video of a man breaking it down. I'm not gonna go into everything he said, but summary is that everything that you see, like Yoruba will say, "Konsojulason," that means that for you that don't speak Yoruba, that means that there is a reason behind what you're saying. So as you're feeling pain in Nigeria, as you're feeling the strain in Nigeria, there are forces outside Nigeria that are making it happen like that. Okay, and again, I'm not trying to say they're evil. I'm not trying to say good or bad. Actually, let me talk about good or bad. See, as you go in life, and I've been journeying in life, I've learned that there is no absolute good and there is no absolute bad. Have you ever been in a situation where you know you're right, you're so right, you're right, so you're going on that journey? Yes, I'm right. After a while, on the same road, you be like, am I right? I was right. What? I'm not right. Oh shoot, I'm not right. I'm wrong? How did I become wrong? I was right. How did I now become the wrong one? Guess what? Continue on that same road. You'll be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm wrong. All right, I'm wrong. I'm right. I'm right. I'm really right. I knew I was right. I was right all along. But how was I wrong? And then it dawned on me one day, finally, that there are no absolutes in a relative world. Let me repeat that. There are no absolutes in a relative world. That means that there's no absolute right and there's no absolute wrong. Let me even introduce another one. I used to like, that person is wrong, that person is evil, that person is there. Until in the same journey, I had to start learning. Universe started teaching me that some people have the right to be wrong. There's a right to be wrong, and there's a right to be right. As a matter of fact, if there's no wrong, you can't know what, you see, I'll be going too high now.
It's
I'll
also
be going too high. But cut long story short, I've said all that to make everyone realize that's why I don't go into this is evil or that is right or that is wrong anymore. I used to major in that, but right now I am a lot more humble in my estimation. Mr. Clay, what do you think?
No. You have a point there because we've been brought up with this idea of right and wrong, good and bad, and that's all we know. It's either it's good or it's bad, and a lot of the programming that we've had over the years from parents, from school, from government, even from our workplaces, you know, you need to always challenge them, challenge the thinking, challenge the narrative, challenge the um, the mindset, and that is really your saving grace because you know, like you say, there's no absolute, and even when you go from one extreme to to the other extreme, you find out that it gets you into a position where you're hurt. You
Mm-hmm.
hurt yourself, So, but yeah, I remember it was years ago that you said that to me that there is no good or bad,
Mm. Mm.
and I was like, hmm, that's really really deep,
It's still deep.
So, but we won't go
We
into deep,
won't go too deep or too high, But
so we just leave it to
you
say
know what? I just said that
things are
because
not
you
good for
see,
anybody.
thank you, Mr. Clay. I just said that because you see, some people are already blaming the use of Nigeria. Like there's an absolute right or there's an absolute wrong. And I just want the youth to know that as you go on this journey, it's usually not even about right or wrong. So you're doing what you need to do and making the choices that you need to make. And again, everything affects everything else. If one doesn't happen, the other one will not happen. You understand what I'm saying? So again, that's why we're calling this growing pains, in the sense that this growing pain will lead to something else.
Yeah.
This growing pain will lead to us being industrious. It will lead to us answering questions that have not been asked before.
Hmm.
It will lead to us realizing that we need to rely more on our intellectual capital.
Hmm.
Rike.
I agree. I totally agree. When you're going against the grain, they tend to say that you're wrong, where I believe that being wrong and right is all relative to the
Yeah.
perspective that we live in, because
Yeah.
from one side, it could be that, oh, this is affecting me in a bad way, or I'm not too satisfied with the outcome. However, on the other hand, somebody else could be completely benefiting from whatever is happening to you that is, causing you upset. So I like to encourage people to try and empathize with people. Put yourself in a situation where the other person is. Like, for example, this whole NSARS movement and the fact that they're killing youths with no form of responsibility. They don't even care. It's just they've just shed blood, and that's the end of it. I would encourage the older generation to actually put themselves in the youth shoes and try and see through our eyes that they're trying to actually make an impact and a change. So there's no point in blaming them, because that's just gonna outrage everybody. Instead of blaming people, try and understand the reason behind it and try and band together and get on their side before you start criticizing. So yeah, wrong and right is all relative. What's wrong? What's right? Your wrong is maybe my right. My right might be your wrong. So that's how I feel. Back to you.
And you know what? Again, this is the interesting thing. I'll just say it. I was listening to Conversations with God. And apparently, do you know that when you get into space, you don't even know where up is no longer up and down is no longer down.
Mm.
You know?
Yep. Yep.
Because if you look at it, wherever you go, wherever you're on the earth and you think this is up, you go straight up and you find out that you end up not up. You're
That's literally just from your perspective. It's like
from your
it's like
perspective.
it's like I've been drawing a figure of 6
Six.
on the ground. I don't know if you've seen that
Yeah.
done where you have
God.
6 and
God.
you put somebody on one end and you say this is number 6, right? You can say it's number 6. And then you put another person on the other end facing that other person. They're facing each other now. And you tell this one, this is number 9. All right. So now depending on where you're standing, you look at it down and you say, yeah, I can see a 6. And the other person says, no, I can see a 9. And then
And
you
then
ask them,
argument
what are you
starts.
seeing? And they're
Argument
looking at
starts.
the same figure. And they're arguing.
Yeah. And they're arguing. So we're highlighting that to basically, show that there are solutions. I'm excited for Africa. As a matter of fact, as we go into the future, raw materials from the ground will mean less,
Mm. Mm.
and intellectual capital will mean more. Mr. Clay, you were talking about Britain getting very
Yes,
good at mining intellectual capital.
because when you look at what they mine, they've made it into a position where they give easy access into their country for people that have the right skill sets.
Mm.
What is known as the brain drain.
Mm-hmm.
Africa's best minds, well, it's not just Africa, all over the world.
Yeah.
The best minds are being encouraged to migrate to UK, because they need these minds to build the next level of technology that the whole world will be clamoring for.
That the whole world will hopefully pay them for.
Oh yeah, clamoring for, because obviously if they're the one that built it, they're the first at it. They will. It's just like building a car engine. Oil was a nuisance to farmers
Yeah.
before intellectual capacity built a combustion engine.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, oil became a
Very.
commodity that
Yeah.
everybody was killing over. They
Yeah.
just had to have it. Whether kill, beg, steal, that's it. So it was, and then the same intellectual capacity that created the combustion engine, the Henry Ford industrial engines of this world, the V8, V6 engines, then developed electric cars
Mm-hmm.
where oil is no longer required. But what we're saying is the universe God in his mercy is the one that lets you know that you are the commodity. You and your inspiration is what is most important, which is why you
Right.
must never, never compare yourself to something that is coming out of the ground, or something that people are they think is worth more than you.
Again, what Mr. Clay is saying, the Nigerian youth, is that the wealth is in you.
Mm.
The wealth that you seek is in you. The good news, that means that nobody can steal what is in you unless you let them steal it.
Yes, sir.
So the good news for the Nigerian youth is that, look, take it from Mr. Phil, the government is not going to solve this issue.
Mm.
The international community is not going to solve this issue. They're benefiting from this issue.
Yeah.
Tribalism is not going to solve this issue. The only thing that will solve this issue is personal responsibility. Yes, you, that young man, that young girl, personal responsibility. The universe, and that's why we've done videos about this in the past, saying that the universe has equipped you with gifts. Remember, we used the restaurant example and the food.
Yeah.
You need to now learn to start cooking for yourself. Don't let the restaurant owner know. The restaurant owner is the rest of the world.
And the intellectual capacity that you bring into it is you bring out a dish that they're not even cooking in their restaurant.
Thank you.
But it will be the talk of the town.
Okay. Obviously, we're not talking food, but we're talking food. But we're talking about, you know, production. Production. Produce something for yourself. Look, again, it's there in Nigeria, and we just used the Japanese and the Chinese example. When they started, did they start perfect?
No.
They didn't start perfect.
No. You don't start perfect.
In the 80s, the Chinese products were known as fake.
Yes.
Even till now, some of them are still known as fake. But did they stop?
No.
Because they know that the perfection comes from them failing. So Nigerians, what do you know how to do? Is this shoe that you know how to do? Start making it. That is production. See, our so-called education, as they have discouraged, and like I said, I'll put the video. The universities, they're all complicit. That's the word, complicit in discouraging Africans to produce. Oh, you need heavy machines to do manufacturing. No, you don't. Oh, you need heavy tools to do production. No, you don't. What you need, fashion with what you have. You have to start from where you are.
Yeah.
With what you have to build.
Yeah.
Remember the Japanese story. What did they have? All they had was a radioactive land.
Yep.
They had a bomb nuked area, deformity, mutation. That's all they had. But then they said, okay, we're gonna use one product still. They did not look. What did they have to do? They have to start where they are.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is, no matter how bad it is, guess what? Intellectual capital is never bare or barren.
Nope.
While the wealth is in you. Rike?
Definitely. It's always best to look inwards rather than outwards, because then you get distracted, you know? Like my dad, Mr. Phil, is saying, the intellectual capacity is within all of us. You know, we were able to be inspired by the universe to just produce exponential things that you wouldn't even expect, and it's all unique to that one person. So continue to look within and actually ask the questions that you need, and with the help of intellectual capacity and the universe, we'll be able to start producing some magnificent things. So yeah, stay hopeful. That's all you can do. Everything starts small, but you got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you're on that track where everything is starting to go well. Yes, back to you.
Just to encourage you guys, I have stories of how I've had to start with nothing. Some people may ask me, Mr. Phil, you're talking all this big talk. What have you produced? For those that don't know, you start with what you have. Where was I? I was a man that had 3 kids within 4 years, and a partner then that said she wanted to go to university. She didn't just want to raise the kids and that's all she's done. And I said, okay, let me be supportive. And she went to university, and I was a man in the house with free kids in the UK. Look, you don't get support with childcare in the UK. So what do you do from there? Well, Mr. Phil wrote a book. While changing nappies, I wrote a book. Is that right, Mr. Clay?
Most definitely.
While changing nappies, from where I was, I started a sales network marketing program that many people became part of. Is that right, Mr. Clay?
Working from home with the kids.
Working from home. Okay, so that is history now. That has become, so everything I'm sharing with you, I'm not just sharing with you out of theory, out of it sounds nice. No. On top of that, we have a program that I've developed called Gift Genius. And in time, some of you will get to know about Gift Genius. But
yep.
I've said all that to say this. Even Mr. Phil, thankfully, is tapping into his own intellectual capital. Mr. Clay.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And it's not just stopping with, there's so many things in the pipeline that are already planned and are already kicking off and already happening. So hence why your comments and your, if you want to be part of these things, we have you in mind because we're building a lot of these things with you in mind.
Yeah.
And so be encouraged. We're talking about the whole world, but even though we're Nigerians, we're not just focusing only on Nigeria. We're talking about the whole world. We have people that are already on the other side of the world that are interested in Give Genius, and so it's for the whole world. This personal development journey, this personal empowerment journey is for the whole world. This message is for everybody, because when you move from this scarcity mindset into the abundance mindset, where you see that together there's more food to eat, not, I need to hide my food from you so I can eat tomorrow. No. That's scarcity.
Mindset.
Let's both eat today so we can get more food for tomorrow.
Yes.
It's a totally different mindset. And you need to check your operating model, check yourself. When you look, am I thinking scarcity or am I thinking abundance? But that is the video in itself.
Of course. And maybe that's the next one we need to look into. Maybe that's the next one, because that I just love what you just said there, Mr. Clay, because that's taking it to a higher level. Because you see, even ultimately, there's no race, there's just one race. And it is scarcity mindset that is making Mr. Black see Mr. Chinese see Mr. Russian. It is scarcity mindset. It is a lack of understanding, really. The vibration is low right there. But when you go to high vibration, you find out that there's only one human being. Oh, don't let me go too far. Don't let me go too far, Rike. Talk us out.
Yes, well, I hope everybody took something away from this video today. And I really encourage everybody to adopt the mindset of abundance in order to be able to receive the intellectual capacity that the universe bestows on everybody. So peace and love once again, everybody.
Peace and love. On that note, speak to you later. Like I said, I promise I'm going to put the video of that man. Check it out in the description. Watch the video because it will start informing you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah.